to be all right with being all right. That was a little Yogi Bearish, but what are you going to do? You got to be all right to be all right. It's going to happen. So, and again, as you be all right, being all right, and you start to understand that everything you desire and expect, these aren't bad things. What do we know? What's the equation? Expectation and desire. If you don't have an expectation and a desire, the universe is just going to keep saying, I don't know what you want, so let's just give her or him more of the same. Expectation is a directive. Desire is a directive. Here's where that's where everybody stops the formula. Let's expand it. Then completely release it. Go back into the body and say, but what do I know? All things work out for me. So when you move back into the body and you say, here's what I expect and here's what I desire and this and this and this, and then you breathe and you say, and now I have faith and I have trust in my higher self, in the universe, however you want to conceptualize this, then guess what? Immediately the universe, immediately the photons, immediately the Plancks, immediately the torque field expands, comes in, and starts to generate it for you. But again, we as human beings are highly skeptical of that because it's too good to be true. It is too good to be true. Something's going to happen. So listen to what I'm saying. If you start to repeat that thought, what do you think is going to happen? The shoe is going to drop. Because you have then lost the energetic connection to your higher self, to your divinity, and to the universe. And because they are so benevolent, they will continue to always show you where your frequency is. I get it. I talk to doctors and I talk to people who run organizations who are kind of medically, let's say, directed, and I've heard it a million times. They're like, you're giving people false hope. You're telling them that they can heal themselves, and I'm like, I hear what you're saying, but if you really can be with what I'm talking about here, it isn't false hope. It's absolutely the truth. And I don't say this directly to them, or I say it in a very gracious way, but I say the information that you're giving them completely holds them in the third dimension. Remember, when we're talking, let's just stick with health for a second, or finances, or relationships. Everything you need is with you already. It doesn't mean that looking outside of yourself is a bad thing. There are resources in this linear time-space continuum that will assist you, that will lead you, that will kind of guide you through conversation or suggestions to receive what it is that you need in the physical realm. If you have a pain and you want to take something, or you want to work with a practitioner who can kind of tap into things for you, these are good augmented practices. But please do not lose the knowing that actually you're the healer, that actually you are the frequency receiver of money, that you are connected to your purpose and your divinity. And it's just a constant, repetitious practice. Remember, we always use the metaphor of walking. When you were little and you were learning how to walk, you fell a lot and you had your experiences with it, but there was no judgment of self, and there was no judgment of how people were viewing you. You didn't say, man, these people must think I'm a complete idiot. I just keep falling and falling and falling. None of that was a part of your toric field, because you were totally in your body, and when you fell and it hurt, you cried. When you stood up and you fell and you tumbled and it was fun, you laughed. You just were completely present. But what did you do? You did it over and over and over and over, and then something miraculous happened. You stood up, and then you didn't fall anymore. Same thing with your ABCs. You went over it and over it and over it, and then all of a sudden, you just sang the song and you knew it. And that was it. So again, in order to expand into this toric field, I need you to go over it and over it and over it and over it. And if you're not going over it and over it and over and over it again, you can still do it. It's just going to take a longer time.